probably we should wrap up, and I'll save all the awkward questions for the next time we meet. But I'd like to give you that opportunity then to begin that process of talking about climate change. Imagine that you're talking to someone who is a bit sceptical. They think it might be happening, it might not be happening, but they don't really, even if it is happening, so what? What does it mean for Manchester? It's just a bunch of polar bears and a bunch of typhoons in the Philippines, and that's sad, but that's just how it is. What would you say to that person? Why does climate change matter to Manchester? And then we'll have that as a separate clip from the video.
I'd say to them we don't know the answer to that. No one knows what the answer to that is. And for me, the person who I trust most to have the best answer on that is Kevin Anderson of the Tyndall Centre, who spends his life day in, day out looking at the impacts of climate change and modelling what they'll do for cities like Manchester. He gave a presentation to council earlier this year that was absolutely staggering what the impacts could be for Manchester. He talked about a couple of things that particularly stayed in my mind, and I'm sure there's other things as well that I can't remember, but the things that scared me most was seeing the temperatures in Manchester go up by, I think it was 4 degrees, but there was a range of temperatures. That didn't mean much to me. What brought it home was when he said that at the temperatures that Manchester might be in summer, you will get tarmac melting. You will get air conditioning units failing. You will get electricity supplies going off across the city because the whole system can't cope with it anymore. You will get really severe storms. You'll get flooding. There'll be crop failure in other parts of the world, which will mean our food prices are massively inflated and you can't get access to food. There'll be food shortages effectively. Even in Manchester this is. And then he also talks about, as the impacts are felt across the world, you'll get a massive influx of migration of people coming to this country, and especially in, for example, there's a very large Bangladeshi population in Rusholme on the Anston estate where I represent, and you could totally imagine that as Bangladesh is particularly badly hit by climate change, you get an influx of everyone's families and distant relatives coming to Manchester, coming to Rusholme, coming to the Anston estate for refuge and for shelter. But that will be on top of all of our systems that are already failing. Food shortages, melting tarmac, we don't have enough school places at the moment, let alone with huge influxes of people. And that all of this could happen quite fast. The decisions that we make today are going to be set in stone. The buildings we build, the roads we put down, our flood risk. We're making decisions today that will have long-term impact for the next 30 to 50 years. And these sort of changes could be affecting the city within that time frame, which is why it's so important that we think about it really seriously now and just review those decisions that we're making to make sure that A, they don't add to the problem, and B, they prepare us for it.